Hey everybody, welcome to Comics Now for September 2017. September's a really special month for me because I opened the store the day after Labor Day in 2006. So September has just always been really special for me. An exciting month. Fall has always been my favorite time of year. I was in marching band in high school, and so it just was always a special time. So I love the fall, I love September, and we have a lot of stuff going on at the store this month.
From the shining domicile that is Pittsburgh Comics, mild-mannered comic shop owner Colin McMahon transforms into the world's greatest comic book talking TV host. Join us, true believers, for Comics Now!
So let me start with Marvel and DC. They have some of the best books coming out. September, we have Marvel Legacy, where they are revamping their entire line. They're coming out with it's a big, extra-sized book coming out on the 25th to end the month, and then kicking off October is going to be revamping their line with all new numbering, special fancy covers. But this Marvel Legacy #1 is the key to everything, and that's going to be coming out the last week of the month. So very excited about this. I'm going to have a bunch. I want everybody to read it. So that's a really exciting book coming out in September. Marvel also has Runaways #1. Runaways was a really neat book where it was kids of supervillains kind of all found out that when their parents got together and were having a supervillain meeting and they accidentally peeked in and saw this, and they kind of then became runaways. They didn't want to be supervillains and they formed a team of themselves. This was, I want to say early 2000s this book was out. Now there's a TV show that's going to be coming out, so they're relaunching a new #1 and a new series of Runaways. Secret Empire Omega. You thought it was done. It's not. We still need to find out the final fate of Captain America and exactly what's going on. So that's wrapping up. Venomverse #1 is coming out. This is a planet where everyone has been turned into venomized versions of themselves with the symbiote taking over. And it's a weekly story telling this story, because everybody loves Venom, so what if everybody's Venom? And then Star Wars Captain Phasma #1. This is a bridge between the two movies, between Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And it's giving her story. Who is Captain Phasma and what's going on? DC. Now DC has a huge month coming up, and I'm really excited. We have Dark Knight's Metal 2. #1 was huge seller. Everybody really enjoyed it with a lot of big surprises. We have #2 coming along with a bunch of little tie-ins. We have, there's 2 Batman one-shot books where it's different versions of Batman from these dark multiverses. There's a Flash one in The Red Death and then a Cyborg version in Murder Machine. Those are coming out. We also have our first tie-in, which is Teen Titans 12 is tying into Metal, and it's also launching the Gotham Underground storyline, which is a bunch of books tying in with Gotham fighting against the events of Dark Knight's Metal. Action Comics 987 is starting off the Oz Effect, which is revealing who Mr. Oz is and getting into kind of gearing us up to the Doomsday Clock that is coming out in November. So this is starting up, tying in some of the Watchmen stuff. We'll see how it goes. The first one has a really cool lenticular cover. So that's coming out. Detective 965 is flashing back to an older storyline. Back in, I think, the 80s, we had A Lonely Place for Dying, which was where Batman was coming to grips and trying to deal with the death of Jason Todd, and it was really the introduction of Tim Drake as Robin. So they're flashing now. Tim Drake disappeared very early on in Rebirth, and nobody knows where he is. They assume he's dead. He's not. He was captured. But they're touching on this storyline, and it's a lonely place of living. And it's going to be a storyline of him coming back and finding out exactly who took him and what's been going on. Harley Quinn is having her 25th anniversary. She's 25 years old, or at least her book is. I don't know how old she is. That seems right. And there's a 25th anniversary special coming out. So this is also tying in with Batman Day, which is Saturday, September 23rd. And this year it's a Harley Quinn takeover, and she's taking over Batman Day. So there's going to be a bunch of different free books to give away. I'm going to have a big Batman sale, lots of stuff going on for that. So keep your eyes peeled for all the details on that. There's a new Wonder Woman book, Wonder Woman Conan, written by Gail Simone, which should be really fun. She loves Wonder Woman, and taking her and just plunking her in with Conan should be a really interesting, fun story. And then a really neat book, Mr. Miracle, the second issue is coming out, and we're getting second prints of the first issue. That's a book, I rarely sell out of a book on Wednesday, but this is one where I sold out right away, and I ordered a lot. So a lot of good response. Everybody really liked it. So number 2 is coming, and this is one you can still get on. If you missed the first one, you still have time to jump on. So that's what's going on with the big 2 with Marvel and DC. There's more to come. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on besides Marvel and DC, so I'm going to call this the best of the rest, which, not trying to diminish these guys at all, but there's a lot of other stuff going on. Dark Horse has a new Hellboy book coming out. They also have another coloring book by Chuck Palahniuk, who did Fight Club. They came out with one a little bit ago called Bait, where basically it's a story, it's a novel or a novella that you can color in the pages. There's another one he's doing called Legacy. That one did really, really well. Lots of Chuck Palahniuk fans out there. IDW has a bunch of kids' books coming out that I love because the kids' books do really, really well. There's a Star Wars Adventures book, there's a DuckTales book, and there's a new Samurai Jack book. Image has some neat stuff coming. There's a Kingsman Red Diamond book. The new Kingsman movie's out. This isn't so much a bridge or tying into it, it's just another story dealing with Eggsy and the Kingsman world. Angelic is an interesting story where humans are gone, they're dead and forgotten, and the only thing left are the genetically modified animals that they created. Gasolina is an interesting one about fighting drug cartels in Mexico. And Scales and Scoundrels is a good one from Image. It's like a Dungeons and Dragon kind of fantasy world, which was a real fun, cute book. Aftershock has an interesting one called Dark Ark. Basically, God told Noah to build the ark because of the flood. Well, Satan also told somebody to build an ark because the flood was coming. And so there's a second ark floating out there in the story of how the two arks deal with one another. A real neat book, I got to read a preview of this, is called Fujitsu. And basically it's a 100-year-old child who's a brilliant genius, but in a child's body, and kind of the adventures that this child goes on, learning, it's teaching itself jujitsu and stuff and fighting bad guys. It was a really, really neat, fun, different book. Boom has a weird one, Lazaretto, which is basically Lord of the Flies on a college campus. And Dynamite is doing John Wick, which is an early John Wick story before the movie. So if you like the movies, you might want to look at this one. Oni has a really interesting one called Made Men, which is basically the pitch is the A-Team meets Frankenstein, where it's these special ops people who are actually dead and recreated. And then Valiant has a couple neat ones coming. We have Bloodshot Salvation #1, where Bloodshot is trying to get his life back together and he's actually trying to start a family, but of course the bad guys don't want him to. And then Ninjak Zero, which is giving you the backstory on the history of Ninjak. So if you've ever been interested, this is a great place to jump on. It's a big 40-page issue. So that's really it as far as the books that are coming out. Lots of stuff going on at the store. Like I said, September is always a really busy month. I'm going to be doing the anniversary party, which is originally coming up on the 9th, but I think I'm going to continue it a little bit more. So in case you miss out, there'll be more coming. We also have book club coming up at the end of the month on September 29th. This month we're doing Rough Riders, which is a book from Aftershock. It's a story kind of like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, but not with fictitious people. It's with historical figures. It's a group of people brought together by Teddy Roosevelt to fight evil. One neat thing with this, it's drawn by Pat O'Leaf, who I believe lives out Swickley way. So nice little local touch on this one. And Batman Day, as I mentioned before, is going to be Saturday, September 23rd. And lots of stuff going on, lots of Batman sales, lots of giveaways. They have free books and stuff. So for the most part, that's everything that's going on at the store. Please don't forget to check the website to see what's going on. Posting constantly on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, so you can find all those links there. September's going to be a really fun and busy month. So wrapping up, I want to bring up my top 10 books of the month. These are the books that you definitely want to keep an eye out for. I'll be posting lots of things about them to get you excited for them. First off, Marvel Legacy, revamping. This is see where the Marvel Universe is going. Then we have Metal and DC, Dark Knight's Metal and all of its tie-in books. I think there's going to be really special, really fun. Kingsman Red Diamond, tying in with the movie. If you never saw the first movie, it's a little quirky, a lot of fun, a little spy mystery, and set over in England. Fujitsu, which is a really fun, neat little book. Bloodshot Salvation, the story of Bloodshot trying to redeem his life. Made Men, which is interesting book about A-Team, Frankenstein. One of the people is a descendant of Frankenstein. Should be fun. Star Wars Captain Phasma. Get you geared up for the movie coming out in December. Star Wars Adventures. It's a fun little story about Rey, and we'll see more of this. Action Comics, The Oz Effect. I think this is going to be a real big one, leading into the Watchmen world and all sorts of stuff. And then just a personal favorite in Mr. Miracle 2. I'm just really excited about this one. Number 1 was fantastic. So that's what's going on. And as always, stay tuned for Comic Previews Theater. Thanks.
The hell was that? Felt like I was being turned inside out. Did Jack hit me with something? Looks like our bits and pieces are in the right place. Now I just need to figure out where we are. Huh. I guess it wasn't Jack. Who did this to me?
Mister? Can you help me, mister?
Hey, kid. Where did you come from? What happened here?
Don't be scared, all right? Just come here. Tell me what's going on. Where's everyone else? Maybe I can get you?
What?
I don't know what you think you just saw, Eddie, but it wasn't friendly. Another second or two and you wouldn't have been any good to me. I need you to come with me right now!
You're Captain America! But not the Cap I know. You just killed a kid!
Fall in, soldier! What did you see back there? Someone who means something to you?
No one means anything to me.
Then you're just the kind of man we need. What did you see back there? Someone who means something to you?
No one means anything to me.
Then you're just the kind of man we need.
But look, it's not a kid. Oh, man. It looks like, what's that? Mr. Bloom.
Yes.
Mr. Bloom joined
It's a
the Marvel.
crossover.
Yes. Interesting.
See, now you want to buy it. I can tell.
Yeah.
You're intrigued.
Gotta do